Welcome back to Virginia This Morning, live here on CBS 6. Our next guest has her finger on the pulse. New information and tips happening in the financial world, and she just loves sharing those findings with you, our valued friends and viewers of the show, and talking about friends.
Absolutely. She's one of them. Joining us live by Zoom this morning, Richmond financial advisor J.B. Bryan. J.B., always a delight to see you. Happy Monday.
Oh, it's so good to be here and to see you both together. And you just look like a flower. You're a flower, Jessica.
No, those are the flowers.
Oh,
the print.
She's a flower.
Okay.
It's early in the day. I still smell like a flower, too.
Yes, you are. It smells like a flower.
It's awesome to see, JB. This is a really important conversation. When we started this at the beginning of the show and said you'd be talking with us about banking fees, this is something that. What is it? Butters my grits? No, that would be happy. How do we say this the best way? Makes me mad. Makes me mad when these sneak up.
So and sneak is the key word there, because a lot of times we don't even know they're there, and then you get a statement, and you're like, well, what's that for?
Right.
I didn't do anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they did a recent study, Bill and Jessica, that it's amazing. Just during this COVID time, they actually did a study and they discovered that there are banking deserts. Now, you've probably heard of a food desert, right? Mm-hmm. Well, a banking desert is just about the same, where you'll have minority communities that people of color are having challenges finding banks. And as a result of that, with not having any banks conveniently located, the bank rate survey found that people of color are paying, in many cases, dramatically more, twice as much as white Americans for bank fees. Is that not amazing?
It is. And when you outline that, JB, and you think, well, by virtue of not having a local bank to be able to access, a lot of people watching may say, well, so what? I bank online. How does this affect me, right? But not everybody does.
That's right. It is amazing, because even if I give you a suggestion that says to get your bank rates down, to save on bank fees, get an account online that may have a free account for you, I still have to tell you, you have to then have access to internet. Maybe then you may be paying more than the $12 bank fee that you may have. So it is a slippery slope, and I'm glad to see articles like CNBC.com expressed it. I'm glad to see that Bankrate is doing the research on it, and I'm really glad that we're having this discussion this morning, because now, because of COVID, it has spread not with just the minority community, it's gone outside of our community into an income issue. This new research has found that the bank rates are actually impacting low income, especially people whose income has changed because of COVID-19. Very interesting point as well.
So, JB, there's always been some kind of bank fees associated, but what you're saying is what's happened while nobody was looking is that not only did they go into communities that were underserved and jack up the fees, but just in general, because of people's income, the fees are higher.
Yes. And a lot of times because bank accounts are requiring a minimum balance. So if you're not making the income that you were making before, you're more likely to drop below that minimum balance. And so I think that we have an extra challenge when your income has changed. You have an extra challenge when you live in a neighborhood that has expensive ATMs available for you, but not an actual branch. So I would say a major takeaway is to do direct deposit if you can. I believe that, and I do believe that this has, when you look at the research, it will show that a Black person is less likely to have a bank account. And that could be because, and it's gone beyond. I mean, the even for our Hispanic community, it showed that their bank fees are even higher than our Black community. So we do definitely need to put some time into helping. And this show definitely helps that we realize there's a challenge. Make sure that if you use an ATM that's free. There are some convenience stores that are free, but typically if they're in our community, they're not free. That's really sad.
JB, I have a question because I've been in places that had, where you used to go in and you say, "Can I get cash back?" And the cashier would say, "Sure." And you go over. Now they say, "No, we have an ATM over there." You go over to the ATM and it's like $4 or $5 to get your money out.
That's right.
Wait a minute, they used to give it to me for nothing. Now
that's right.
And so that's kind of what you're talking about, isn't it?
A lady told me the other day. She said, my account now has where you can actually call and get customer service for $10 a month. I said, you realize that used to be free. You realize that they're doing a great job on marketing that used to be a free service. Now you are paying for customer service.
For $10 a month.
Yes, and excited about it. Be careful.
Wow.
Be careful.
So JB, we have about a minute left. We've talked about a couple strategies. One, find an ATM that does not charge the fees. Again, that's an obstacle if you can't get to that one. But do you have other key things that we all can keep in mind with keeping those banking fees low?
Become more comfortable with doing things online so that you can check your email, and so that if you do have a bank account, which is very helpful, make sure that it sends you emails. Make sure you set up for the app on your phone from your bank account that will send you an alert that if you're going below a set balance, that you get a trigger so that you can correct it if you can, so that you can avoid additional fees. But so set the alerts before the challenge happens. But use technology as much as you can. Take advantage of direct deposit as well. Be careful with online accounts. They sound great. They say it's free, but many times it's free if you only do one transaction, or it's free if you only do 2 transactions within a month. So be very careful what you sign up for. When you're excited about the word free, make sure it's really free.
Read that fine print.
Right. JB always brings things to light that some of us hadn't even thought of. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the opportunity.
JB Bryant offers free weekly money seminars and webinars every Wednesday evening and Sunday morning. You'll find a link to more information at WTVR.com/BTL.
And coming up next, we'll take a peek inside our inbox, checking out what came in over the weekend as part of Everywhere You Are. We'll be right back with that.